and welcome to the Upkeep for Monday, October 16th, 2023.
That's right. It's all of the magic news you need in 10 minutes or less.
And today, the big magic news is surrounding booster types in Magic the Gathering.
There's going to be a big change. So they are combining draft and set boosters into one kind of booster, which is called a play booster, starting with Murders at Karlov Manor.
So if you're wondering, we're getting rid of set boosters and draft boosters, and they're transforming into that one booster, like Megan said, the play booster. Collector boosters, don't worry, aren't going anywhere. Those are still going to stick around. And Wizards says the reasoning for this was manyfold, but the main reasoning was that two kinds of boosters, set and draft boosters, was becoming a problem because people were confused about which one, what was in what, and more people were just buying set boosters, leaving draft boosters kind of on the back bench.
Yep, it also led to inventory issues where stores would want to have draft boosters available for drafts, but if people are buying set boosters, it doesn't make sense for them to have draft boosters, but then you can't have a limited format at that store. So it was just causing a lot of trouble.
So what exactly is a play booster? We're going to tell you. Play boosters will have slots 1 through 6 will have commons, and this can include booster fun commons.
Slot 7 is going to be a common or a card from the list. 7 out of 8 times it's going to be that common, but an eighth of the time it'll be a card from the list. The list is now going to include those special guest cards that they announced a couple of weeks ago. Those are reprints with new art that thematically ties to the set, plus 40 reprints without new art, 30 common or uncommon, and 10 rares or mythic rares. The breakdown means that you have an 87.5% chance of getting a common from the main set, a 9.3% chance of a common or uncommon normal reprint from the list, a 1.5% chance of a rare or mythic rare normal reprint from the list, and a 1.5% chance of a special guests card from the list.
So this is a big change to the list because in the past, the list had been about 300 cards. So now it's only going to be about 40 cards, and they're hoping that this will tone down the feel bads of, your chance of opening a card from the list, and then you get something that you're like, what was this? This is just some random common. So they're hoping it'll be a little bit more exciting to open a card from the list as they curate that list a lot more heavily now moving forward.
Then slots 8 through 10 in the play booster are uncommons. That could also be the booster fun version. Slot 11 is the rare or mythic rare, and slot 12 is the land.
Slot 13 is going to be a non-foil wild card, and what that means is it could be anything from the main set, including booster fun. It could also be a rare or mythic. Slot 14 is a traditional foil wild card of any rarity, and slot 15 is your non-playable card, so that's the token or play aid that they include. But you also get a 30% chance of it being an art card and a 5% chance of it being an art card with a signature.
This is all to say that play boosters could have up to 4 rares or mythics, which is going to affect how limited plays out. Mark Rosewater says play design has been working to balance this by printing more answers at common in upcoming sets.
Yeah, he has a big article about it if you want to read more up on dailymtg.com. He says that they do not actually expect play boosters to change how draft plays out very much. They've been testing it for a while now. A sealed, though, is kind of a different story because you have the potential to open quite a few more rares than you did in the past. But again, I think we're at kind of a wait and see how that affects the format before a lot of people are willing to make willing to have big opinions on how play boosters are going to change how things play out. It also means that you're only going to have 14 playable cards per pack instead of 15. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. But overall, they expect more playable cards per pack in a draft because one of the problems that they cited was in draft, a lot of players would end up with those cards at the back of the pack that nobody wants and that are just like basically garbage. And they're like, what if we could cut down on that experience? So they're hoping that overall you'll have more cards to put into your deck.
They say that draft and sealed is also going to be slightly more expensive, $3 to $4 more per draft or sealed event, but they say you're getting the same bang for your buck overall because of the enhanced quality of the pack.
And if you're wondering how this is going to play out on Arena, good question. They're going to mirror play boosters on Arena just like in real life, and they're trying to make the paper and Arena experience as similar as possible. But what they're going to do is that list spot in the pack is going to be swapped in Arena to mirror the Eternal formats on Arena, as opposed to in paper where it's going to mirror the Eternal formats in real life.
So that is the big news for today. In additional news, there was also a banned and restricted announcement, but there is no change to any format. This is the new time slot for an emergency banning shortly after a new set release, and is the only opportunity for bans other than the big ban announcement they plan for late every summer.
So a lot of people were pretty confused when there was no changes today, as it was in the quote-unquote emergency ban time after the new set release, but no changes to any format. So we'll see how they shift things moving forward.
Finally, there's a best of 3 standard qualifier weekend play-in this Friday. It's a qualifier weekend on Saturday, Sunday, which is also standard. You can win a spot on the PT or in the Arena Championship. There's limited qualifier play-ins next month.
All right, everybody, that's all the magical news we have for you this week. Check out our full-length episode, Good Luck High Five, anywhere that you get your podcasts. And you can support that show, this show, and everything that we make over on patreon.com/GLHF Magic.